Hey there, welcome back. To be or not to be, that is the question. Or should I say, to do or not to do? That's the question that we're playing with this week. We are a doing species. We do, we achieve, we evolve so much so that it's almost like doing has taken over our lives. And it's important. How do you know when to slow down, when to be or not to be, when to do or not to do? I had this experience and I wanted to share it with you. And before I do, I want to say be sure to subscribe below because we're going to be evolving our consciousness. We might as well be doing it intentionally. So I'm going to invite you to subscribe and follow along because this is going to support you. These videos are going to support you and give you real ways to do this in an exponential way. So click below and subscribe. So I recently had this experience. I started a new business, and for those of you that are business owners and even if you're not, right? It's like we are all achieving and accomplishing and, working toward our own success and realizing our dreams and our goals, right? And so I was sort of checking things off the list and for many days, many weeks, and doing so in a pretty, I felt like, conscious way. And I noticed that there was a day that came and I said, wow, I'm just feeling tired. I want to take a day to myself. It was really interesting. I set an intention that I wanted to take a day to myself and just be present. Usually that means just sitting in stillness, reading a book, right? A lot of space, a lot of nothing. And so I set that intention at the beginning of the day. At the end of the day, my partner said, so how was your day doing nothing? And I was sort of like, oh, well, actually, a lot got accomplished. Many, many things got checked off of that to-do list. And it was interesting as I reflected back on my high-low aha. My aha was that doing was actually very important and very powerful. And I felt so calm and clear on that particular day. And other days, as you can probably relate to, when the doing gets done, there's just more doing. There are just more things that fill up that to-do list. Does that sound familiar? There's always, it's like the three-headed snake, and I think it's Greek mythology. You cut off one head and two grow back. And sometimes it's like that with a to-do list, right? You mark one thing off the list and 5 more things spring up that need to get done. And that's not wrong, it's okay. It's just, it is as it is. And so on this particular day, what I realized is that the to-do list was done and I just felt peaceful and complete. And that's not because, I replicated myself and, accomplished 1,000 things. What mattered was that how I related to my doing. I was being while I was achieving, while I was going and moving through my day. I was asking myself, well, what do I want right now? And I was really connecting with myself. And as I was checking things off the list, I was feeling in joy. I was feeling in bliss. I was really appreciating whatever was happening at that very moment, whether it was, what might have in the past been an annoying email or, a long list of emails to answer. I'm sure some of you can relate to that, right? I was just loving it and embracing it and feeling like it was kind of fun. And so the question here we're playing with is, how do we know when to be or not to be, or to do or not to do? And here's the answer, is when you're at the end of whatever task you're accomplishing, if you feel at peace and you feel joy, then you know it was time to do. If you don't, if you feel anxious or like you need to do more, then that is a time to be. Right in that moment. You don't need to make yourself wrong for that you weren't present while you were doing that. I'm pivoting you to looking at in that moment when you've reflected, because this moment is preparation for the next, right? The next experience that's coming through in the now. So you might as well appreciate it, right? You might as well enjoy it. Otherwise, we're going to end our lives. We're going to end this month. We're going to end this day feeling like there's just more to do. So I really want to invite you to play with this idea. And I'm bringing this playfulness of to be or not to be. That's the question. To bring awareness to this, first of all. Okay? Is this a moment where I just want to be? I want to be still? Because that's okay too. You don't have to do anything. Or is this a moment where I want to do? And then you can check in after it's quote unquote done and see how you feel inside. How is your body responding? Are you feeling more anxious? Is your mind making up more stories of what you still have to achieve? So that's your practice for this week. I'm really looking forward to hearing how it goes and how I promise you, when you practice this, every task that you accomplish, everything from walking the dog to checking your mail to opening a book to making dinner to finishing a project is going to feel joyful. And a byproduct of that is that it's going to be so much more successful. It's going to brighten people's day. It's going to open up new opportunities and relationships and situations for you. I promise you. So please check back and let me know how it's going. And I will see you back here next week. Take care. Bye.